far this year, we've seen our fair share of athletes making their way to college, just not that many from the pool just yet. That is, until last week. Outgrowing Bartlett's Lane, set to head off throughout the nation. Swimmers from around the last frontier were honored at the pool this past weekend, all of them declaring where they'll be diving in next season. And for many of them, this celebration comes after competing against one another for years, so having this event together, it only seemed right.
It's so just cool seeing everybody succeed and see everyone go where they wanted to go. And one of my teammates was up there with me, and we're just so excited for everyone and for each other.
Excitement and curiosity, that was a trend for many of these kids and their new coaching staff, begging the question, how exactly do you describe Alaska's swim scene? Rebecca, you'll like this. So we asked.
I have gotten a few questions about, but isn't it really cold up there? How does swimming work? Because I think we have outdoor pools. Like, no, all of our pools are indoor.
Yeah, they were a little surprised. They were like, why are you coming here? And I was like, I don't know, it's just a perfect fit.
Yeah, you know, all the questions. Dude, you live in an igloo? Do you ride a boost to school? You know, all the questions. So it was a good time.
You can probably expect that and way more in the lower 48, where over the next 4 to 5 years, they'll have time to clear up those Moose questions and represent the state they've called home.
It's an understatement to kind of say, like, yeah, it's a gift, but also I'm just grateful that I'm able to, like, represent my whole team and everyone along the journey. But being able to, like, stand here and show kids that, hey, anything's possible, D1, swimming in general, going to a new area you're never used to. I'm just really grateful that, you know, at the end of the day that I've gotten to this point in my life, even if I haven't hit all the milestones that I wanted or certain times or records, but at the end of the day, it's just loving yourself and really putting in the work in the pool, and then it's going to show at the end of the day.
Signing season is still alive in full force around the country. And hey, if you know one coming up, let us know. Drop us an email here, sports@ktuu.com. All right, let's freeze those pools in the meantime. The race for the Stanley Cup continues, as does Jeremy Swayman's season with the Boston Bruins. The Anchorage-born netminder snagged 24 saves off 25 shots in Boston's must-win matchup versus Buffalo. That series, though, still favoring the Sabres 3-2. Game 6 scheduled for May 1st at TD Garden. Going to be rooting for him as well, coming off that gold medal performance.
And congratulations to everybody going to college for those schools. You look like you had a bunch of kids.
Yeah, you love the time of year. And hey, coming from Alaska to be a swimmer, how about that?
That's such a nice pool, too. I
love
that Bartlett pool.
100%.
Absolutely.
And then they'll get to swim a lot more in any place warmer than Alaska.
Your Florida's nice.
I know, yeah. The pools are good. Let's talk about that forecast just briefly in the Anchorage.
It is that lovely time of year where the snow thaws, the sun shines, and the future of some of Alaska's top prospects gains a clearer view. It's signing season around the state, and athletes are putting pen to paper.
It's signed.
A dead A on the range, making the trip to South Carolina. Lumen Christie's Liv Crosby is a Terrier. The standout rifle shooter committing to the targets of Wofford University. She joins the D1 rifle program after a long look behind the irons, appearing on numerous podiums in several competitions. The next one potentially coming at the Junior Olympics, where she's set to shoot in Alabama later this week.
Less excited, more nervous, and a little overwhelmed because of school. And after I get back, I'm only going to have 2 weeks of school left as a senior, so it's going to be a little stressful nearing the end of the school year, but I'm excited to finish it off with a bang.
Congratulations to her once again. We're wishing her well. Hopefully the nerves die down just a little bit. And you can hear more on her and some other signings coming up later tonight. That and more in tonight's Sportscast. We'll be right back. Addict, today was your day. 3 NHL matchups plus Alaska's squads facing do-or-die games in the Knoll. Let's start there tonight. Game 4 of the NAHL playoffs, first round matchup at the Sully. Wolverines heading into it, trailing 2-1 in the best of 5. Wiley there, hyping up the fans the best he can as they found themselves down 2-0 midway through the second. Off 2 power play goals. Looking like a trend. Shut out the last 2 games 9-0 on the way to a third until Jack McKenna narrowing the gap. The Sullivan 6,000 plus erupting. He's cut the lead down to 1. Time ticking away now, though. Just milliseconds left in the third. Caleb Maher from far away with the miracle on ice. Wolverines are alive. It's going to go to overtime as this game creeping into the broadcast. Let's send it out to Jordan Rodenberger. He's at the Sullivan Arena as we speak. Jordan, what's the latest? More to come on that later. Meanwhile, to the land down under, at least in Alaska's case. Fairbanks in Wisconsin clashing with the Wendigo. Matthew Volkman on the breakaway, pushing the Pups up by 1. They too need a win to stay alive. They're trailing the Wendigo 2-1. That's a good start. 2 periods later now, same camera angle, same pass to the same player, and the same result. Volkman with another shot between the pipes. 2 goals, good enough for the win. The literal last-second shot, not enough for the Demons. Fairbanks stays alive with the victory 2-1. As the season mushes on for the Ice Dogs, they'll run it back in Game 5 of the series Saturday. Puck drop at 3:35 p.m. Alaska time in Wisconsin. You can tune in with a subscription on the NATV.com. Day 2 of the NFL Draft has come and gone, and as of now, we continue to wait and see. Will an Alaskan hear his name called this year? For the first 3 rounds, that's been a no, though expected in the meantime. South's Edifon Ulofushio from Washington was the last Alaskan selected back in 2024. We've seen a few others before that, of course. Mark Schlereth comes to mind. Brandon Drum, too. He was picked in the 7th round by the Lions in 2003. We caught up with him on what that moment meant to him as a native of the 49th state.
It was always a chip on my shoulder being an Alaska kid, just trying to, prove everybody wrong and prove myself right. And, I know that coming out, that was a lot bigger just going to college, trying to prove it out to college. And then once I got to college, I knew I could play. I knew I belonged. I'm obviously a raised Alaska boy and proud to represent Alaska. And I thought I did that in a good way.
So far, that Pittsburgh crowd, there were 500,000 fans showing up there in the first 2 days of the NFL Draft, already breaking records. 907 Sports After Dark. That's what we might as well call this edition. I'm standing here with Jordan Rodenberger here at the CTV desk where we just wrapped up a bit ago. But in a jam-packed sports schedule like this, there's always room for more.
Extended interviews.
Like the one we just had with David Carl a bit ago, the Anchorage-born coach, the leader of the Denver Pioneers, winning his 3rd national championship in college hockey. And here we're even able to share some stories that didn't make the broadcast if you're a nightly viewer, like the teammates turned opponents at the high school all-star basketball game this weekend. 2 of the state's best matching up against each other after winning a state championship together just last month.
There was one possession over there. I almost got it, but she kept it. It's fun playing against her, but we pretty much know each other's whole moves, whole bag, so we kind of guard each other pretty well.
And currently in that tug-of-war as we speak, both in the weather and the sports calendar. Basketball just wrapping up, baseball beginning as we speak. Playoff hockey on deck, along with the Native Youth Olympics. That's also coming up this weekend. A lot going on inside and out of the 907.